Can you read, Anna? Lunch 2.
Teachers are so annoying. I can't believe he just slammed the door on me. Sometimes teachers don't care. They just don't get me.
Were you just thinking that teachers aren't relatable and don't care about you?
Wait, what? How did she know that?
Because that's not true. And the SRC have made a well-being video where teachers give advice to show that they care and support you. I know, it's so exciting. So let's take a look.
What were you like in high school?
I was really quiet, but I always did my work. I was a really good girl. And only a few teachers knew my name. Like, only if I was doing really well in the subject, they knew my name. Because I wasn't very talkative.
High school was a very interesting time for me. I was a massive dork with I had a group of friends. Shut up. He knows I'm a dork. A group of friends, but I wasn't very close with many people.
In high school, I was super dancey and really sporty. I liked all my subjects like PE, dance. I actually liked English, not so much maths, but in high school, I just enjoyed hanging out with my friends and trying my best.
In high school, I had a lot of fun. I took it very easily. I had a lot of fun with my friends. I didn't really settle down and take it too seriously until year 11 and 12, but then I buckled down and I studied.
In high school, I think I was lacking a lot in confidence, and I really struggled to form friendships with other people because of that lack in confidence. And it wasn't probably until year 11 actually when I started doing drama that I actually started gaining confidence and forming more friendships and starting to become a little bit happier within myself as well.
Well, obviously I was a drama kid. Should be no surprise, English and drama were my favourite subjects. I loved my English teacher and my drama teachers, so they kind of inspired me to be a teacher. I was the captain as well, so I guess you could say I was pretty studious. But yeah, I went to a public school in the Hunter Valley, very different to Cheltenham, but I loved my high school and wouldn't change a thing.
All I can say is maybe I was a bit of a bad boy. We performed in the band in front of the whole school as part of our final year 12 little gig that we did. Oh yeah, we used to hang out on Hungry Jack's every afternoon after tutoring, but that was just the life.
I think I'm a bit of a dork in high school. I was a big nerd. I love science. I still do. And yeah, I was like a quiet student. There was actually a teacher here that taught me in high school, Mrs. Kwan. I don't know whether you remember her. She was my English teacher when I was in year 8. Yeah.
What made you become a teacher?
I always wanted to be a teacher. I think from the time I was in about year 10, I decided that I loved communicating and teaching and coaching kids. I did a prac at a primary school and realised I didn't want to be a primary school teacher anymore, but loved the idea of being a high school teacher. So for about year 10, I always wanted to be a teacher.
I didn't always want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a billion other things first of all, but I think I got into early high school and I was sort of like, oh, I kind of like the idea of teaching, and then when I got to year 11, 12, it sort of solidified that yeah, this is what I wanted to do. And the reason why I wanted to be a teacher is because I love working with kids. I just love that feeling when I can explain something to someone and they actually understand it and their whole outlook on something can change and they feel more positive or they feel more empowered about something in their life, or I love the feeling when someone wants to come and have a chat with me and I can just help them out in some way. That's why I'm a year advisor. I just love having chats. But I like being needed. And that's why I work here.
What made me be a teacher?
Like, were you always planning on becoming a teacher?
Not really, but that's where I was driven to at the end.
Yeah, what did you want to do before?
Engineering is what I wanted to do anyway.
And why did you change to become a teacher?
I think that's God's plan, I think.
I used to make my little younger sister come into my bedroom when I was
Rachel in primary school, and I used to make her do dance classes in my bedroom mirror. I used to pretend I was a teacher and she was my student. Probably traumatised her for life, but yeah, I always wanted to at least teach dance. I didn't actually have a plan to teach PE until after school, and managed to find a course doing PE and dance teaching in high school, so I got into that and a couple of it since.
Originally going to be a lawyer, as most people, lawyer parents do. But I dropped out my first year of uni and did an arts degree, and then got to do something with an arts degree. But I actually did teaching as my next step because I felt that I was actually pretty terrible and awkward and uncomfortable around children, and I wanted to challenge that.
Why do you love your job?
I love my job because I get the chance to show you guys different things you mightn't have known about yet. So different aspects of the world and just like giving you more kind of knowledge.
I like the creativity. I like the spontaneity because every day you never know what's coming at you in the classroom, or we might like latch on to something really, really cool that we can investigate, which might be like a bit of a joke or a bit of a laugh, but you know, that completely by accident could be a really memorable learning moment. Obviously at Cheltenham, being able to shape and grow future female leaders, future female athletes, just powerful voices out there, which we really, really need.
I love being a teacher because I get to work with amazing, inspiring adults and young people who keep me real and teach me lots because you never stop learning.
Because I get to work with a range of different personalities, and it's always so fun being able to experience that in the classroom, and also getting to know a lot of people, what they're into. I love that, bringing that into my lessons too. I also love history and English. I am only teaching English right now, but I do love both subjects, and it's just fun to share what you know with other people too, and being able to promote, sponsor, mentor future students, and make them amazing citizens of society.
Oh, I love everything about it. So I love interacting with the students. I love the way that the penny drops when you talk to them. I love how it opens up their mind and exposes them to different ideas in life and different opportunities. I love how their skills develop, and absolutely how they mature into much more socially and culturally literate human beings, and hopefully they remain learners for life.
I like seeing the potential within my students, and more importantly, I like seeing them exceed. So there's that expectation that they have, and then when they beat that, it's kind of the best thing about being a teacher. Also, I get to work with some really funny kids.
I love teaching is being able to spend time in a classroom with students and share new ideas, share lots of things about the world, teaching history and messages from the past to learn about the future, and I guess getting outside the pink bubble of Cheltenham and opening the mind to the realities of what other people experience in the world.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Advice I'd give to my younger self would be to just be a bit more zen and not care so much about what people think. I used to have some really toxic friends in high school, and they always used to judge me, or they used to always have something to say and exclude me and all that kind of stuff. And then later on, you know how in high school the best friend is so important, you need to have a best friend, all that kind of stuff. But later on in life, you'd be surprised, you might meet that person that actually is a good friend, and you don't need all the haters in your life. I don't know why I'm saying this as you, but to me, I would say these things.
I would tell my younger self to be brave and just have a go. What's the worst thing that can happen?
I think the best advice that I would give my younger self is to not worry so much about the things that when I look back on now, I know seem really trivial, and at the time they felt very, very important. I guess not to worry about how I look, what other people think of me, and surround myself with people who love me and value me, because your worth is not in how you look or the marks you get or what job you do. It's about what you bring to the world, and what you give as a friend and as a colleague and as a loved one.
The advice I would give to my younger self is to focus on yourself. Stop paying attention to what other people think. People don't care what other people are doing. Focus on yourself. Don't get involved in the drama. Honestly, just do what you love and be true to who you are.
Perhaps just not to care about everything so much and to focus so much on what other people were thinking of me. I would really kind of tell myself to put yourself out there, take risks. A lot of the opportunities I think that you get in high school you don't have for the rest of your life, and like I said, with drama was one of those opportunities that I did take and that made a big difference for me. But I wish I did more kind of extracurricular stuff, and I wish I kind of pushed myself a little bit further and really kind of made the most of just the high school experience and made the most of that time, rather than just worrying so much about things that could happen and might not even happen.
The advice I would give to my younger self is to just, I guess, relax, not to be too serious about everything, to enjoy my friends, to enjoy the fun extra experiences that school gives you, because they're the things that you do remember. You don't remember all the assessments or all the essays that you wrote, but you do remember the good times, so make the most of them and enjoy it, and make some really good friends and stick by them.
I think it's like just take everything easier, more relaxed, everything is gonna work out fine, even if you just relax and chill. So just do your best, but don't be too anxious when I didn't do well, and also just do what you enjoy. I think that's what I would tell myself.
Advice I would give to my younger self is to pursue things that you actually love. Don't do it just to please other people or anything like that, or you can kind of just flow into the rhythm of things, but make sure you are pursuing what you love. It's really important that you take on those opportunities. If you like sports, play sports, right? If you like video games, pursue something in video games. Make sure you make the most out of life and everything you love.
I think to stay safe and to make most of life.
I guess what I can say to my younger self is keep grooving. You're doing well, and life is going to work out well for you.
The advice I give to my young self would be to perhaps, life is short, and to follow those dreams, and follow the passion of teaching and traveling and experiencing the world as much as you can while you can. So my young self being a student, and to all the students out there is go out and grab life and see the world.
What advice would you give to the students?
My advice to you guys would be to ask questions during class and never think that your questions are silly. Keep a good rapport with your teacher, have a laugh, but also get the work done.
I think students should really enjoy their learning. It's wonderful to be a lifelong learner, and just enjoy that whole experience. Try your best, look at different opportunities, and just engage with it. It will take you places.
Be honest, be respectful, and always try your best.
I think just being there for your friends is always important. I think sometimes we feel like we want to solve all of the issues, but that's not always possible, and that's not always something that's our job necessarily. I think just being there to validate and listen to their issues and just sort of acknowledge them is important in itself. So hopefully you can do that for all those around.
In the moment, and everything seems like there's no hope, and everything seems like it's the end of the world, and it's just the worst situation, and you feel like there's no way out of the situation, or nothing's going to get better, or your friends aren't going to talk to you again. Trust me, things get better, and you'll look back on your life, on those experiences in your life, and be like, you know what, I'm actually happy that things have worked out the way they have, because I didn't grow stronger as a person, I didn't learn things, and other events didn't happen because that thing didn't happen. Like you look back on your life and you actually go, you know what, things worked out for a reason.
Go for it. Run into the fire with your shield and your sword and unapologetically go for it. Don't sit down and think, oh, this is hard. No, it's always gonna be hard. The hardness never stops. You need to get up and go for it. JFK said we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And I need you all to embrace the challenge and just be warriors about it. Yeah!
Believe in yourself. I know that sounds really cliche, but I think we can be our own harshest critics. And I received a really helpful piece of advice once, to talk to yourself as if you'd talk to a 3-year-old version of yourself. So being kind to yourself. You'd never tell a 3-year-old version of yourself that they were worthless or not good enough or not smart enough. So talk to yourself like to your inner child. That would be my advice.
I think as you get older and as you have lots of different experiences, your priorities change and you get a better perspective of what's important. So I guess based on that, go travel, go see the world, go have those experiences. You come back a different person. It puts everything into perspective for you. But also invest time in the things that are most important to you and those things that you value the most. So family, relationships with friends, and find, in terms of what you want to do with your life, find something that you just absolutely love doing and absolutely sink your teeth into it, because then you'll love what you do. And I think that's the most important thing, to love what you do.
Don't be afraid of failure, because in the end that's the best way that we actually learn. So if you fail at something, you're more likely to improve next time.
My best advice, I have 2 pieces of advice, okay? So the first one would be, just don't compare yourself, right? Don't compare yourself to anybody else. So what, your friend got like 2 marks more than you? That doesn't mean they're better than you. You all bring different experiences to the table. So you know something more than the other person knows. So just own who you are and don't compare yourself. And my second piece of advice, right? Fake it till you make it. You know when you have to go and say a speech and you're like so scared, just pretend you know what you're talking about and you will always do really well.
Mine is to devote yourself to things that you love. If you like English, get super into English. If you like public speaking, get into that. Find an extracurricular that appeals to you and devote yourself to it. Sure, that might change, your interests will change. I was very into math in high school and now I'm an English teacher. But they're allowed to, and that's okay. So just have fun with it.
Just don't be a miserable teenager. I know it's really hard to go into those pitfalls, but you have the rest of your life to make those mistakes. And as a teenager, a lot of adults will say around and tell you what to do. You really have that lack of, you don't have a lot of control in your life now. But feel free, don't be self-conscious about the music that you listen to or the things that you like. Don't care what people do, because that perception of what's cool or people that are confident is so shattering. Like, you have no idea once you leave high school, those people that were academically inclined or were more popular and had a lot more friends, how funny it is that you see them 10 years later and they got 3 kids and they look like trash. Like, just have that just be like, and I know people say be yourself and it's really corny, but don't be ashamed to like things, and don't just like things because your friend says to like things. Have confidence in yourself, you know what I mean? You're a growing person, you're allowed to make mistakes, and no one knows what they're doing.